Zawe, Theo. Hey, congratulations for Mr. Malcolm's List.
Hey, thank you.
What is about this period, this Jane Austen period, that is so appealing and attractive for like romance stories?
It's the escapism, you're able to dive into a world which is very different from the contemporary one we live in, There's a fantasy element to it that I think you can lean into, and romance in that period is less complex in a way. I mean, in some ways it's not, but it's less complex in terms of it's all about the nuance and the petite nature of how these characters interact. Essentially, what do you think, Zach?
I agree. I think we live in a very kind of warts and all world now. There's barely any mystery between people anymore, and I think there's a sensuality and a mystery and as Theo said, a sort of simpler romance in these novels and in these adaptations.
Zawe, when you're playing your character, do you feel kind of like guilty about your character on how she treats everybody?
No, I don't. I do. It's so interesting. Every time you approach any kind of character, you have to go in with a level of empathy, even if they end up doing questionable things. And what I actually love about Julia is there is this, this delicate, complex balance within her of vulnerability and antagonism. And when we meet her at the beginning of the film, she's like a Regency Bridget Jones. She's been out for 4 seasons and still hasn't made a match. And the pressures of society are starting to build. And I think lots of people can relate to that. That pressure can make a girl do crazy things. And so there were always ways that I found to justify and empathize with what she did.
Most excellent. For both of you, do you find this period costumes more freeing or more constricting to you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think a bit of both. I mean, they're useful because they provide, actors, as Zawe has said, love bits and bobs. They love, things to do. So they provide structure. But then the nature of them is quite done up. So a bit of both. But I enjoy the structure of a costume, whatever period it is, because it enables you to dive quite quickly into the character. You're able to separate the character from yourself almost immediately.
I agree.
One more thing, Theo. You missed that mustache?
Oh, I miss it. Jesus. I might grow it back. It took a while of cultivating, but yeah, I miss that bad boy.
It has its own credit at the end of the film. Just make sure you scroll up and see.
Rick the mustache.
Most excellent. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.